Hello guys and welcome to my first I'm a Celeb video of the year. I don't know how many of these I'm going to make, depends on how well they perform on the channel. Big Brother's really been hitting it off, so I'm hoping I'm a Celeb does as well. But in this video we are going to be talking about the 10 castmates that are going to be joining the Jungle Crew Down Under. And I think there are some really good picks for this year, and there are some not so great picks for this year, as I think you all may know. And I think it could prove to be a very eventful season, similar to how last season was very eventful as well, for very similar reasons. And I think that it could prove quite entertaining. I don't know. I'm kind of doing this as a recap video for the people who don't necessarily want to support ITV and what they're doing for this. I'm going to be watching it regardless because I watch it with family. So I figured I might as well make videos on them for the people who don't necessarily want to watch it. And sort of support the choices that ITV are making in putting certain people in the jungle. So, without much further ado, let's talk about our first controversial campmate, and that is Miss Jamie Lynn Spears. And I got to say, I did not know who this person was. I did not know they existed until Brittany came out bashing her a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh my god, who is this person? And then when I read into it, I was like, oh, she's a horrible person. Cool. So there's like a lot going on with that. They described her as a singer, as an actress, but the only reason I know her is because she is Britney Spears' sister. And they look remarkably similar. Like, I know they're sisters, but like, I genuinely thought at one point it was Britney Spears, and I was like, hello. But no. So I think that's going to be very interesting. It seems a little bit of a desperate move to go into the jungle this year, especially considering she's literally just been kicked off of Dancing with the Stars, the latest season, back in October. So this is quite a quick turnaround for her. I don't think that she will make it very far, if I'm being honest, but I think she'll be voted to do a lot of the Bush Tucker trials, along with a certain other gentleman that I will talk about later on. So I'm not too excited about Jamie going into the jungle, but hey, she might have a few entertaining moments, you never know. The next person on our list is Sam Thompson, and Sam Thompson, I'm fairly certain, is Zara McDermott's husband slash boyfriend slash thing. I don't know. But I think they're together. I may be completely wrong and way off base there, but obviously she's just been kicked off of Strictly, and now he's going straight into the jungle. So I feel like this is really bad timing for those two. But I gotta say, I actually do find him very entertaining. I think he's quite a funny person. I don't know him from Made in Chelsea, which he hilariously mentioned in his sort of intro video, that you probably know me from Made in Chelsea, but I'd like to think you know me from my podcasts. And I actually do know him from his podcasts, which is quite cool. I don't listen to them. I watch like the TikTok videos on them, but like I think he's quite cool. I think he's quite interesting, and I think he's gonna bring an interesting energy to the jungle, which will be fun. I really do wish they had Pete Wicks in there as well, because those two are very funny together. But yeah, unless I'm completely misremembering who this person is, I'm pretty sure that's who he is. Yeah, I'm sure they have a podcast together. But yeah, I think he'll be quite cool. I think he'll be a very uncontroversial campmate. He could make it all the way to the end, you never know. Some Made in Chelsea people have done quite well on the show, like was it Toff back in the day, back in 2017, I want to say. I've watched it pretty much every single year. Like I sat there being like, I didn't watch last year at all, and then when I looked up who was on last year, I was like, oh my god, I watched every single episode, and I genuinely don't remember watching every single episode. But like, I did, because I looked it up and I was like, oh my god, I remember that, I remember that, I remember that, I remember that. So like clearly I did watch it, but it must have been a bit of a fever dream. The next person up is Josie Gibson, and she is my queen. I love her. I love the energy that she brings on this morning. Um, if we can't have Alison Hammond come back into the jungle, Josie is a good second pick, and it was so hilarious to see those videos of her landing in Down Under and being hounded by by journalists, and she just went, no, I'm on a diet retreat, I'm going to lose weight. And I was like, that is the kind of energy we need from our next I'm a Celeb winner. I do think she's going to be a bit of a wuss in challenges, and I think that she's going to be hilarious to watch, and I think she's going to be the comedy card that we need this season. She's so funny on This Morning. She has so many iconic moments, and I genuinely can't wait to see what she's like in the jungle. I think she's one of the main reasons that I'm sort of voting, or I'm not voting, the reasons I'm watching this season. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to get in and get acquainted with sort of how she is in the jungle. Next up is Fred, and I want to say his surname is Sirieix. I could be very, very wrong with that. I do not know. Apologies to the French community. But I know him from Gordon, Gino, and Fred Go around the world. Basically, they have a very, very funny friendship relationship, but also he's on First Dates as the maitre d', I think. But either way, he's very, very entertaining. I think he's definitely going to be the chef of the season. You usually get one person who likes to take over the cooking, and I feel like he's going to want to do that, and I don't think anyone should step in his way, because let's face it, he is, I'm sure he's a TV chef, right? I'm fairly certain, unless I'm completely just misunderstanding the whole point of his fame. But anyway, he is very, very interesting. He's very entertaining, and I mean, we've already had Gino in the jungle. We're never going to get Gordon in the jungle, so why not have him as to finish off the trio? Yeah, I think he'll be quite interesting to watch, actually. Nella Rose is up next, and I have to be 100% honest and hold my hands up. I did not know who she was before this was announced, but I have done my research, and she is one funny person. She is so funny, and like I've been watching her like pink courtroom thing that she does. I've been watching a couple of her videos, getting myself acquainted with her. She's so funny, and I feel like she is gonna have some hilarious moments in the jungle. Like, when I saw the lineup, I was like, who is that? And now she's one of the people I'm most excited to see, which is crazy in the last couple of days. So yeah, I gotta say, I think she's gonna bring some funny moments. I think she's also gonna cause a little bit of drama, potentially. She says she won't, but I think she might. And I think I know exactly who she's going to cause drama with, potentially. I mean, the best thing about having a YouTuber in there is they have a fan base, and so they could make it particularly far, potentially. However, they also don't have the same level of career as some other people do when they're trying to uphold sort of the standards, because she's very outspoken. She says it how it is, from what I've seen at least. So like, if she does that on the show, she's not necessarily putting her career in jeopardy, because that is her career. So who knows, she could genuinely rock the boat a little bit and cause a little bit of trouble. You never know. Guys, I don't know whose idea it was to put Nigel Farage in the jungle, but I need to have a word with them, and I don't know how to feel about it. I'm conflicted. Half of me is saying that this is going to be incredible to watch this man be put through so many bush tucker trials and made to suffer by the British public, much like Matt Hancock was last year. However, I'm also very worried that the show is going to Matt Hancock us, in the fact that by the end of the series, I was almost rooting for Matt Hancock, and I hated myself for it, because he'd been on such a journey. And then, but like, what do you mean? And I really just want people to make him feel uncomfortable in there, and like really hold him accountable for all the horrible and nasty things that he said over the years. He is not a very nice person. Like, I think that's the understatement of the century. But the fact that ITV are allowing him on their platform is crazy to me. And I think that's what the other half of me is saying, is that like this is why a lot of people are boycotting it, and this is potentially why these videos are being made, because I want to make sure people are still keeping up to date with what's happening on with the people that they like. But if they don't want to support the show and they don't want to put like watch time into it so that it's making ITV money, fair enough. I can't believe that they've done it. I actually can't believe it. Like, Matt Hancock, if they'd have allowed Matt Hancock in after a couple of years, fair enough. Like, he's on Celebrity SAS at the moment, and he is getting the shit beaten out of him. But like, you gotta respect the man, because he's putting up with it, and he's made it far, and he's part of a lot of shit. However, he deserves it because of everything that he put us through in the pandemic. So like, I just, like, that's why it hurt so badly last year when he was put in the jungle, because it was like, what do you mean? But people held him accountable in the jungle. Like, Charlene White was, and like Boy George just didn't talk to him, and it was, I gotta say, it was uncomfortable to watch at times, but as he deserved. So I'm really hoping that people, like, I think there are going to be some gobsmacked faces when they see Nigel Farage rock up. Like, oh my god, there's going to be some gobsmacked faces. I just don't see how this can possibly function. Yeah, I actually don't know how it's going to work. I really don't know how it's going to work. But I'm interested to find out, I guess. He's either going to be very early out, or he might make it far in the competition. I don't know. But I know he's going to be voted for the Bush Tucker trials along with Jamie Lynn Spears, because the British public hate both of them currently. Grace Dent, I don't know who she is. Apparently she's a food critic, but I think she's also appeared on an advert recently for like vegetarian sausages. I feel like that's her, unless I'm completely wrong. But like, I don't know who she is. I don't watch MasterChef UK if she's on that, which apparently she is. So like, I don't know. I can't really comment on who she is, whether I'm excited, because I gotta be honest, I'm not really that excited to see her, because she could be really funny and she could be really lovely, but like, currently I know nothing about her, so I can't really comment on whether I'm excited or not. So yeah, unfortunately, bit of a poor pick for me, unfortunately. I cannot believe we've got Marvin Humes to go into the jungle. Marvin is probably my favourite member of JLS, just because I feel like he's remained in the public eye ever since JLS, because obviously he's married to Rochelle Humes from the Saturdays, and they often did, I think they presented like a BBC song quiz game or something. I can't remember exactly what it was called, like the hit list maybe is what it was called, but like, they were very entertaining on that, and I find them a very entertaining pair. So I'm very interested to see how he is in the jungle. I think we've had a JLS member before, but I also can't remember. Maybe Aston. Did Aston go in? I can't remember. Or I don't remember the other two, if I'm being off the top of my head, but like, I remember those two, Aston and Marvin. But yeah, it'll be very interesting. They have just finished touring, which is crazy. I don't know how they've managed to time this, because he's going into the jungle, but they've literally just been touring. Like, my friend went to go see them last Friday. So genuinely quick turnaround. This guy is working 100 miles an hour. But I gotta say, I am excited to see him, see what he brings to the show. Yeah, he says he's quite a screamer, so that's going to be quite interesting to watch. And I can't. Has Rochelle been into the jungle? I don't think she'd ever do it, but it would be funny to see her as well. Danielle Harold. Now, she's just finished her role on EastEnders as Lola. Gotta admit, I don't watch EastEnders, so I couldn't tell you much about what her character was, or like what she did on the show. But like, I know that she had a very long cancer storyline, and apparently it was incredible, and I trust the people who watch it more than myself. So yeah, I think it's interesting that she's chosen now to go into the jungle, but I guess she's got loads of free time now, and she might want to start building up her profile outside of EastEnders. So I'm a Celeb's probably the best place to do that, I guess. I don't know. It's a little bit of a complicated one. I'm excited to see her. EastEnders people, like soap people in general, usually are quite entertaining in the jungle. I can't think of many instances where they haven't been. Off the top of my head. But yeah, I normally like the soap people because I normally know who they are because I'm like in tune with the soaps. The main three, EastEnders, Coronation Street, and Emmerdale. Not so much Hollyoaks, as we'll find out in a second. But yeah, Danielle Harold. I think she could be quite entertaining. I don't know whether she'll make it that far. Like I said, Josie Gibson for the win. But yeah, we'll just see how it works out. And the last person on our list is Nick Pickard, and I have no clue who he is. Apparently he's a Hollyoaks actor. So yeah, apparently he's been on Hollyoaks for like 20 years or something like that, and yeah, I don't really watch Hollyoaks, so I can't really comment on that. So I can't say I'm excited to see him. I think him and Grace Dent are the only people I don't know on this list, and so I'm not excited under any circumstances. Well, not under any circumstances. I'm interested to see what they'll bring to the show, but I can't really comment much on who he is, how he is, etc., etc. But yeah, this series is looking to be interesting to say the least. I think that they've made some interesting choices casting wise, and I think it is a little bit of a cheek, to put it mildly, that they are putting Jamie Lynn Spears and Nigel Farage in the jungle, especially yeah, after all the controversy that surrounds them. But hey ho, they always love to throw a controversial person in. We've had Matt Hancock, we've had yeah, that's all I can think of really off the top of my head. And they don't really normally put controversial people in. Like normally it's people that are like respectable. Oh, whatever. Anyway, thank you guys very, very much for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday potentially for the first episode of I'm a Celeb review. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.